This is the first video in the ball throw series, that is to say in the tutorial, and we're going to be working here with the Morpheus character. Now, you don't have to use Morpheus. There are many there are many human biped rigs available on the web. I like Morpheus. I think he's a good rig. And what I've done here is I've opened up the first saved version of Morpheus that I used in the human jump. And that was the week 8 exercise. And if you remember, when Morpheus comes in, when you first import him into the shot, he stands rigid with his arms outstretched and his legs straight. And so what I've done is I've opened up the already relaxed version of Morpheus. Hopefully you've got a version of Morpheus saved who's like that. If not, open him up as he comes box fresh, as it were, and go ahead and relax him. So what I'm going to do now is to create a new project. I'm going to go project new, and I'm going to call this ball underscore throw. Accept, and I'm going to set to that project. Set to ball throw. No, hold on, I've done this wrong. I have in fact set my project in the wrong place. So I actually wasn't paying attention there. So I'm going to go back to project window and create a new project. And this is the difficulty. I inadvertently created it on my desktop, so I need to navigate to my documents folder because I want all of this stuff in the same place. So there we go, in my Maya projects folder. And actually what I'll do is just go up one and select projects and go select like that. Okay, so now we're in the right directory, and we can call this ball throw. Very important to make sure that all your folders are tidily arranged. And the reason for this is if you don't have proper filing, if you don't organize your folders in a tidy way, you will lose things. And when you come to assemble your demo reel at the end of the course, you won't be able to find your shots. And that is just an incredibly boring thing to happen because it is a huge waste of effort. Okay, so having done that, let's just make sure we're set to that project. Set to ball throw, set, and let's go ahead and save ball throw V001, and I'll just save that. Now, one thing we need to make sure is that the textures available for Morpheus are deposited in the correct folder. So I'm just going to go and find those textures. So to do that, I want to open up a window, then go to my Documents folder, and then go to Maya, Projects, and I'm going to find the last time I used Morpheus, which was in the Morpheus Jump. There we go. So I click on that, Morpheus Jump, and go to Source Images, and there are Morpheus's images. So I'm going to go ahead and copy all of that, Shift Select all. Actually, I don't think I want 3D Paint textures. So I'm just going to Shift Select all of this stuff, right click, copy, or Control C works equally well, and then go up one and go to ball throw, and now I'm going to deposit that in Source Images, Control V, and hopefully that should paste those in there correctly. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's make sure that all of his textures are working, and I think we'll remember from the last time that some of his textures do not work properly. So let's re-hook them all up. So here's the skin. We're missing the skin, so I'm going to double click on that and try and find that skin color. So it'll be under overall color. And if I scroll down there, it's looking for head texture light.png. So let's see if we can find that. Skin head texture light.png. There we go. Open and connect it up, and there we go. So now we get Morpheus looking a bit more normal. Let's do a quick render of that. See what it looks like. Okay, so we're getting his skin, but we're missing eyeballs. So let me go back to the Hypershade, and let's go to, let's connect up the eyes. So double click on that, minimize it, and again, if I go to the color render node, and it's looking for greeneye.png. So let's look for that. Let's go up one, eyes. There we go, greeneye.png, open. So now if we render, can we see the eyeballs? Yes, great. Okay, so we're in good shape. We are we have Morpheus working. So I'm actually going to just go to save scene there, save over that one, so that I know for future reference that my version 1 of this ball throw is actually working properly. Okay, now the next thing to do is to go and find my thumbnails for this week. And thumbnails are obviously important, so we want to make sure we've got decent thumbnails so that we know where we're going with this shot. So here is a set of some thumbnails from this week. There are in fact 2 sets of thumbnails with this week's exercise. This one is actually, these are thumbnails taken from the same baseball pitch that I used in the technical video. There are a couple of ways of approaching this week's exercise, and I actually recommend that you do in fact import the live action reference as I have demonstrated, and match it or attempt to match the action. It's a very, very good way of learning how to match live action reference. I'm actually, for the sake of time, I'm going to do a simpler ball throw here because it just has 6 positions, and I want to demonstrate how you can simplify this ball throw into these positions, and how we can use these thumbnails to get a result. So first of all, I'm going to go to the parent master and turn that on, because we're going to want to create a ball and parent it to Morpheus. Actually, we also want to make sure that we set our timeline correctly. Start at frame 101 and end at frame 57. So let's go to 101 at the beginning, and then finish at frame 157 at the end there. Okay, so now we've got our timeline set. Now we need to create a ball, so I'm going to go to Create, Polygon Primitives, Sphere, and let's move that into position. It's obviously very, very small, so we'll change the scale on it. Middle mouse, drag that. Okay, there's a ball. And let's pop that in Morpheus's hand. And I think we might as well add a texture to the ball too. So I think I'll go ahead and drop a ball texture in Morpheus's hand as well. So back to my source images folder. Here we are in Documents, Maya, Projects, Ball Throw. I'm just going to Control V to paste a tennis ball image, which is this one here, which I pulled off the web. And that I will use to texture the ball. So now the ball is actually called, let's go to the outliner, window outliner, P-Sphere 1. That's not a very good name. Let's just call that ball. And now that we've got our ball, let's connect it to Morpheus. And let's go ahead and right-click over it, assign favorite material Lambert. Lambert 6, let's rename that ball material. Enter. And let's go to the little checker here, which pulls up or creates a render node. Click on File, click on the little folder, the little yellow folder, and let's find that ball. There's the texture for the tennis ball. Open, and now we have a textured tennis ball, which just makes it look a little bit nicer. So now if we were to take a render of that, we would get Morpheus with his tennis ball. Okay, so I'm just going to save that, save scene as version 2. Always want to save whenever you get anywhere where you feel like you've done something useful, because you never know when things will go wrong.